Welcome to the channel, the Cold War, a period defined by espionage, political maneuvering, and a fierce ideological battle between two superpowers. It was a time of tension, fear, and secrecy. But what if I told you there are shocking secrets about this era that most people don't know? 5 hidden truths that will change the way you see history. Let's dive in. Secret number 1. The CIA's role in the space race was far more sinister than you think. Everyone knows that the space race between the United States and the Soviet Union was a fierce competition to explore the cosmos. But what if I told you that it was also a front for one of the most covert operations in history? In the early years of space exploration, the CIA used the space race as a cover for a series of top-secret spy satellites. These satellites, disguised as scientific missions, were used to gather intelligence on Soviet military movements and weapons. In fact, the US didn't just want to win the race to the moon, they were already winning the war for surveillance from above. Secret number 2, the Soviets had their own spies in the US government. It wasn't just a one-way street. While the West focused on exposing Soviet agents, it's less well known that the Soviet Union had successfully infiltrated the US government at the highest levels. In fact, one of the most damaging espionage operations of the Cold War was carried out by a network of Soviet spies known as the Cambridge Five. 5 British men, all working within the heart of British intelligence, were secretly passing information to the Soviet Union. They managed to stay hidden for years, leaking secrets that helped the Soviets stay one step ahead in the Cold War. The most shocking part? One of the spies was even in direct contact with high-ranking US officials, sowing distrust and confusion from within. Secret number 3. The US almost launched a nuclear attack on Cuba in 1962, and it was all thanks to a false alarm. The Cuban Missile Crisis is one of the most well-known events of the Cold War, but the truth behind it is even more chilling. In October 1962, tensions reached their peak when American spy planes discovered Soviet missiles on Cuban soil. What you may not know is that a single false alarm almost led to nuclear war. On the Soviet side, a malfunctioning radar system misidentified a US missile as a full-scale attack. Soviet commanders prepared to retaliate, and it took a lone officer, Vasily Arkhipov, to stop the launch by refusing to authorize the strike. Secret number 4. The Berlin Wall was a symbol of division, but it was also a deeply political maneuver to control the flow of information. Most people view the Berlin Wall as a physical barrier between East and West, but it was also a strategic tool used to control not just movement, but knowledge. East Germany built the wall not only to stop people from escaping, but also to prevent the spread of Western ideas. The Berlin Wall effectively isolated citizens from the outside world, and in many cases it was the backdrop for a massive propaganda war. Information was censored, and news of the West's technological and economic progress was kept from the East. What you may not know is that East Germany's government would go to extreme lengths to monitor and control communication, even spying on its own citizens, to prevent the flow of foreign knowledge. Secret number 5. The Cold War wasn't just a battle between two superpowers. It was fought on the ground by ordinary people, many of whom had no idea they were part of it. Think about it. The Cold War was more than just military might. It was a game of influence, played out in covert ways, with regular civilians caught in the middle. From spies masquerading as diplomats to ordinary people unknowingly being recruited by intelligence agencies, the Cold War's reach was global. In countries like Vietnam, Angola, and Nicaragua, local conflicts were often funded, supported, or outright manipulated by both the US and the Soviet Union. For many people, the Cold War was a battle they didn't sign up for, but one they were forced to fight nonetheless. The Cold War was more than just a time of fear. It was an era of hidden truths, shocking secrets, and high-stakes diplomacy. The stories behind these secrets are not just history. They're reminders of the lengths nations will go to for power, control, and survival. If these secrets of the Cold War blew your mind, imagine what other hidden stories are waiting to be uncovered. Hit that like button if you found this fascinating, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth dives into the most secretive moments in history. See you in the next video.